as far as I'm concerned, music is music. I don't look at it as rock, R&B, all that kind of stuff. I just look at it as music, you know. But I feel sorry for anybody who only listens to one form of music.
Unsigned, local artists, unsigned artists. Music you may have never heard before. Music you'll want to hear again. All right here on the Freeza Block Show.
Welcome in. It is a Freeza Block Show, so very happy to have everybody listening in and alongside and hanging out with us. We are so excited. We have Yusuf and Rachel, 2 of the 10 members of the Pink Hawks, and Pink Hawks are here in the studio. Thank you guys so much for coming on in. Super, super appreciate it. And my goodness, I can't get to my applause button. You gotta be kidding me. There we go. Hey, thank you guys. Hey, say hi, say hi. It is Yuso and Rachel. And if you could move that mic a little bit so you could be like this, because it looks like the mic's like right in your face. There you go, man. Perfect. Perfect.
It's an acceptable angle for
and you're good there too. You're good too.
Yay.
Yes. Thank you so much. Pink Hawks, thank you guys so much. Short notice, man. I just got a hold of you, and I'm really excited because you guys have a great show coming up here at Ophelia's coming up on June 22nd. Well, that's what? Tomorrow. Yeah. So make sure to come on out there, man. Ophelia is such a great, great place. Before we get to all that, one of you needs to tell the audience out there who's never heard of the Pink Hawks and might be a Freeza Block fan or not, or whatever, what kind of music it is you guys like to play or like to call it. You know, sometimes people like to shoebox you, but you know.
No boxes, man. You don't believe in their boxes.
Right? No boxes for you guys, man. So, but just kind of break it down a little bit, what you guys are bringing out there.
All right. Well, thanks, Steve. Thanks for having us. Pink Hawks is basically kind of at the core right now, Afrobeat, which is sort of Nigerian funk and soul and disco, kind of from the 70s era, started by Fela Kuti. I'm sure many people are familiar with him. But, you know, we've kind of taken it to other dimensions. We've added a hip-hop element, you know, done straight-up soul and R&B, do a lot of Latino stuff, some wapangos and cumbias. And so, you know, we're pretty eclectic, but I kind of like to think about it as just music that comes from the African diaspora.
I think the ultimate goal with any music is to get you to move. And I think that's really what we try to do. There's lots of horns, lots of percussion. So it's difficult. You could see people sometimes trying really hard not to, and you can't help it. Like, you have to, like,
yeah.
I always talk about life cardio every show because I'm not a gym person. My membership is dusty, you guys. It's really dusty. But what ends up happening for me is it's just like this thing where the music, the drums, you just can't help it. You just feel free and you feel without judgment. And I think that's one thing that you want to feel at a show is that you can move your body and no one's going to question how you're doing it.
Nice. Then that's good. I mean, because you guys don't want to say that you're in a Latin band or you're a reggae band or whatever. You guys just, like you said, eclectic. And if it makes you move and groove, then hey, man, that's where we're at, right? We don't want to call it anything, just good music.
Yeah,
right?
Dance music.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man.
And both the drummer John Olson and I have studied in West Africa. He studied in Ghana, primarily in Togo, and I studied in Guinea. We studied under masters like Kofi Togo and Faratono. And really, you know, in that area of the world, I mean, dance and music are not separate. They're inseparable, in fact. And so, again, that's kind of the core of what we try to bring, as Rachel was saying, is just, you know.
Well, and there's healing in that. Like, there's community in that. And I think ultimately that's what's going to bring us all back together anyway, is just get on a dance floor and shake it out. Let it go.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, get out there and shake it out. You know, it's good therapy. It makes you feel good, especially the positive vibe that you guys throw out there. You know, it's all about, you know, soul, and it's about like just feeling good, right? Positivity, right?
Yeah, and a lot of truth as well. Just kind of helping people connect with what we're all kind of going through, and then feeling supported through some of the other things that are difficult around us and bringing light to it, I think.
Awesome. I got a hold of your CD. You guys brought it on in for us. It's called Boo. So let's break that down. Why do you guys wanted to call it that?
I think Boo is interesting because it has sort of a double meaning. Like, you know, on one hand, it's your boo, your significant other, someone you love. But then just like the shock value of boo, like,
see, yeah, I mean, you could take it different ways, that's for sure. And, you know, hey, one way or the other, man, it's all good. We're going to go into some music. We've made people wait at least 5 minutes before they can hear anything from the Pink Hawks. We do have 2 members of the 10 members of the Pink Hawks, and we will be talking about all those guys when we get back on the other side of this music. We're going to go with the first one, Love Isn't Enough. Do you guys want to tell us a little bit about what that might mean? And, you know, I mean, you said that you, the one that writes all the music and probably the lyrics as well. So
musical genius.
Yeah.
So if you could.
Yeah, Love Isn't Enough is kind of centered around a poem that I wrote while I was studying in the Naropa Summer Writing Institute for Disembodied Poetics. It was started by Anne Waldman and Allen Ginsberg, and I was listening to, just a lecture, essentially a symposium on Allen Ginsberg, and it's kind of just sort of jotting random ideas. But really how love wasn't enough to save him. And I think that can be thought of more generally. Like sometimes, you know, we had just played the teacher protest, the Red for Ed. And, you know, I feel like teachers come from this framework of almost infinite, endless love. But at some point, love isn't enough to sustain us and to sustain our communities, and so that's essentially what this song's about. It's about, you know,
it's about a little bit more than, like you said, just like maybe, I guess, what do they call it? Just words, you know, putting your words into action.
Yes.
Right. Awesome. Good stuff. We are joined by Yuso and Rachel. They are from the Pink Hawks. They have a show on Saturday or tomorrow. I keep wanting to make it on Saturday. It's tomorrow night at Ophelia's. Friday. They'll be with Wheelchair Sports Camp. Woo! And who else is going to be there, you guys?
DJ Polyphony.
Yeah, awesome. Good stuff, man. Okay, without further ado, this is Love Isn't Enough. Pink Hawks right here. Mile High Underground, the Freeza Block Show.
Loving enough in the land of her drug, color of green, something for lust. Loving enough, American drug. Loving enough, red, white, and lust. Loving enough in the land of her drug, color of green, something for lust. Loving enough, American drug. Loving enough, red, white, and lust. Loving enough, American drug. Loving enough, red, white, and lust. Loving enough in the land of her drug, color of green, center her lust. Loving enough, American drug. Loving enough, red, white, and lust. American drug, loving enough, red, white, and lust, loving enough in the land of the drug, color of green, center of lust, loving enough, American drug, loving enough, red, white, and lust. Loving enough, American drug, loving enough, red, white, and lust, loving enough in the land of drug, color of gray, center of lust, loving enough, American drug, loving enough, red, white, and lust.
Madness lights a fuse for an explosion. Schizophrenia of a loved one, I am not enough. Spooks donating acid to each other, dating paranoia, electric shock therapy, lobotomy, excusing her with lithium. She's so bad, she gonna die if they don't come out. Does she save herself? When she started singing with you, she found the key. Ganesha, god of punk rock and poetry, remover of obstacles. Becomes a non-profit, dodging war taxes while giving everything away. Two poetic measures, measure one breath, take it back. Loving enough, American drug, loving enough, red, white, and lust, loving enough in the land of drug, color of green, center of lust, loving enough, American drug, loving enough, red, white, and lust.
Color of green, sent her lust, loving enough American drug, loving enough red, white, and lust, loving enough in the land of her drug. Color of green, sent her lust, loving enough American drug, loving enough red, white, and lust.
Yes, indeed. Pink Hawks in the building, and really good stuff. It is Yuzo and Rachel. They are 2/10 of Pink Hawks, and wow, we were talking during the song, not really a traditionally, 2 or 3 minutes or whatever. That was a much longer song than normal, and you guys started explaining to me about the beat. So if you guys could go back and explain a little bit of that.
Yeah, I think again, the inspiration for it is a lot of traditional Afro beats. So if you listen to Fela and Marajada and some of these other artists coming out of Nigeria, you'll notice their songs are a little bit longer. There's a little bit more time for the groove. You kind of don't know when the vocals are going to come in. It's kind of easy to time things with a lot of Western music because okay, this sounds like a chorus now. And that's usually exactly when it comes in. So it kind of tests you a little bit. And like we said, the beat patterns are a little bit different too in terms of timing. And it's very, very interesting. And like Yuzo was talking about, there's foundation in jazz as well. So you do let the horn sort of improv however many bars you want to explore your solo, and things like that happen quite a bit. And about the drum parts, a lot of that, especially during a show, there's choreography, like actual West African choreography that's built in to go with those drum parts. So when you're doing a live show, it's really exciting to have everyone get engaged and give them some time to learn what we're doing. And it's crazy when I'm up there, I'll see people start doing the same moves and I'm like, oh my God, like it's so excited.
But that's what you want though.
Yeah.
That's what you're looking for. And, and again, it's just all really about the positivity and the energy that you give back and forth between the audience and yourself.
Yeah, that
right?
exchange keeps us going for sure.
No doubt. And if you want to be a part of that positive exchange, make sure you come down tomorrow night, Ophelia's. The doors are open at 8 o'clock, $13. I guess, what is it? It's going to be $13 that day of the show as well, probably.
I think day of show at Ophelia's changed.
Hey, you know what? It doesn't matter how much it costs, right?
But if you know, let's get some pre-sale.
There you go. Get some pre-sale.
We got them.
No doubt about it. Again, tomorrow night at Ophelia's. It's really going to be a really cool show.
We're so excited to have Kaylin on there too. Wheelchair Sports Camp. Kaylin for mayor.
Yeah.
I know. I've been wanting to play with her for years.
Yeah.
She's phenomenal.
I'm just so blown away by her as an artist. So.
Yeah, as an artist and a human being and an activist, she's the best.
No doubt about it. We'll give shouts out. That bell again. We haven't had the bell yet. The bell is for some of the Pink Hawk fans out there that are listening in and watching. Go ahead and break it on out. It's for a hit or a shot. It doesn't necessarily have to be weed or alcohol, but just a little bit of something to get you right on.
Coconut water.
There you go. Whatever makes you happy there, man. No doubt about it. You owe us too. Everybody break them on out. Let's have some fun. It is the Pink Hawks in the studio. Tomorrow night, they'll be at Ophelia's. We have Yuzo and Rachel. And Rachel, what is it that you do with the band?
So I play a lot of percussion. I sing, and I do a lot of ass shaking, I guess, would be the easiest way to explain it.
There we go. Break it all out.
So typically for me, there's just so much going on stage that I just try to focus on translating it with my body, because I don't know if everyone is tuned to the music or they know it as well, but if they see you moving, I think it's easier. It's like speaking another language. So
now when you move, is it mostly with the beat? Or you just kind of like close your eyes and kind of do like what I do? Like you kind of do that hippie wave type of deal because I can't really move my feet so well.
I actually prefer to perform barefoot when I can, because West African choreography, if I'm doing it correctly, which sometimes I'm a little lazy, you're gonna need to be able to like really move and jump, and there's a lot of energy and expression that goes along with it, because all of those dances are telling a story. So if you're telling the story with your body, you have to sort of be accurate in your movements, and it's hard to do all that on stage with like percussion instruments and stuff, but I try to be respectful of that as well when I'm performing. So it's a little bit more involved.
So it really is more, like you said, it's not just closing your eyes and kind of feeling it. It's there's really something more to it than that. That's really cool. And if you want to check that out, make sure to be there at Ophelia's tomorrow, 8 o'clock. 21 and older, so you got to leave your little brother in the car. So it's all good. Yeah, he can crack the window, give him a drink. It's all good, man. And they'll be there again with Wheelchair Sports Camp, and it'll be a really, really good time, man. Again, Yuzo and Rachel in the studio, Pink Hawks. Indeed. Tell us a little bit about some of the other folks that are in the band, because you guys, like I said, you guys are only 2/10 of the band. There's a lot of folks there.
So as Rachel was mentioning earlier, we have a large we have a full horn section. So we have a baritone, sax, trumpet, trombone. I play alto sax. And it's, in that section, it's kind of a diversity. 2 of us are educators. Our Barry player is named Tracy Trinidad. She's a dean of students at a high school. And then the other 2 are music majors that Hanson Millison plays trombone. He graduated from CU Boulder in music performance, and Dylan Vessel just graduated actually from DU this year. So shout out to him, and he's the one that plays trumpet. But yeah, like a huge diversity. Some of us are kind of career musicians. Some of us are activists. Some of us are teachers.
I'm a software consultant.
Yeah.
Hey, whatever it takes.
Tech girls in the house.
Yes, indeed. Pink Hawks in the studio, man. We're so very happy to have you guys in. And again, if you want to check them out, it's going to be a fantastic show tomorrow at Ophelia's, and that's downtown, and that's a great venue, you guys. Everybody's,
they always treat us so well there. We've had a few shows there recently, and by far I feel like they're always so attentive in terms of sound, and the way the room looks is already sexy enough. We don't have to do too much. So.
That's right. Good, and they got great food too. So that's
early for the food.
That's definitely
come early
a tip.
And get that food.
Yeah, I think that's
so
a really good idea. Come early, have some food, and enjoy. No doubt about it. We have Pink Hawks, or at least 2/10 of Pink Hawks in the studio. We have Yuzo and Rachel, and Yuzo, tell us a little bit about, kind of how you got this thing started, because I think that I'm just trying to perceive that maybe that you're pretty much the core of the band, and if it wasn't for you, there would be like 10 people out there doing something else.
That's real.
So it's kind of a long story. We started basically in a basement as a 2-piece, a guitar and me on kind of saxophone and vocals and keyboards, really just doing psychedelic stuff. It was 100% improv back then, and then we started incorporating some live performance art with our improv pieces.
Could you just explain?
Like one example of a performance art that piece that we did was reverse striptease. So 2 women actually came out pretty much naked,
right.
Really engaging with the crowd and being extremely sexy, and then proceeded to start putting on clothes. And actually we handed out or they were handing out money to the patrons, and
it was an exact reverse.
So it was a
reverse
of
wow. There you go, reverse striptease. But you guys moving on from
so that at that time, after a while, the we added a few more members. We ended up adding a guitarist. We had a DJ, or sorry, a drummer. We had a DJ kind of playing our percussion for a while, and we had a, and then we added a bass player as well, Neil McCormick, who still plays around Denver. And I had started this with Mike Neff. At this point, later on, Mike Neff plays around Denver as well locally. Mm-hmm. Him and I had started getting way into West African music, and especially like Afrobeat and Afro jazz and Ethiopian music.
Now, can I interject for real quick? What was it about that sound or that, a particular style of music that really drew you in?
For me, it was that it incorporated the elements of jazz that I had been growing up with, so I could really express myself with my saxophone in kind of new ways that I couldn't really express in rock and other forms. B, it had that strong foundational dance element. And C, I feel like I've been playing protest music for a lot of my life, and Afrobeat was beautiful because you could listen to protest music and dance and feel good and not have to kind of feel hit over the head and feel sad after the show, or
or like somebody's trying to shove their whatever message down your throat, and you feel like, wow.
I mean, you can, and it's more liberating, it's more empowering to protest movements when you can also move and feel happy, and so that's kind of what drew me towards it. So we basically started improvising kind of an Afrobeat style. At that point, I started looping all the horn lines, and then essentially a lot of those became songs, and decided to get more members so I didn't have to loop, and here we are now.
And it's a way more fun, even though it's probably like I've heard before, like trying to herd cats to get everybody, to do either a practice or performance or whatever, or even, I mean, obviously that you guys had super short notice. So I'm sure, I'm glad that it was you guys. But by the way, we have Pink Hawks in the studio. It's Yuzo and Rachel, 1/10 or 2/10 of
Maybe
Pink
we're
Hawks.
Pinky Hawks, right? Because
Pink
it's
Hawks.
just like Pinky Hawks.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Make sure to check them out. They're going to be at Ophelia's tomorrow, June 22nd. Doors open at 8, 21 and over, $13. Wheelchair Sports Camp will also be there, and also Polyphony. Right? Is that right?
Polyphony.
Polyphony. All right. You brought your guitar. Like I said before, we've really, we leave it up to the artist whether or not they want to play. So we really do appreciate if you wanted to break out a little something for us. Tell us what you're going to play, and we'll let you do it.
Yeah, so this first song that I was thinking is a song I wrote a while ago. It's in Spanish. It's called Lobo y Halcón. It's kind of a Wapango style, so sort of a, divergent from this Afrobeat stuff that we were talking about earlier. But again, like we explained, we're eclectic. We just like playing music that we feel and that, hopefully you guys will feel. So this is called Lobo y Halcón. Estoy solo en el mundo, porque el mundo es uno. Vuelo en el cielo
la noche. Mi cuerpo está el centro de sus lágrimas y sus risas. Tengo todo en mis manos, porque el mundo es uno. Tenemos el poder, transformar las fronteras y soledad, y soledad, y soledad. Pero soy un halcón en la noche y un lobo en la mañana, pero soy un halcón en la noche, en la noche. Yo camino hacia mi hogar
Too long.
y no puedo ver el final.
Back home.
Y mi alma se va a abandonar, abandonar. Y yo camino hacia mi hogar
Too long.
y no puedo ver el final.
Back home.
Y mi alma se va a abandonar, abandonar. And oh, I've been traveling on this road too long,
Too long.
just trying to find my way back home.
Back home.
But my home is dead and gone, dead and gone.
Great stuff. Pink Hawk, Yuzo, and Rachel, a little duo action. It won't be anything like that tomorrow at Ophelia's. Nothing like that at all. There's horns, there's percussion, there's all kinds of stuff. There's crazy lights, there's drinks, there's lots of crazy people. It's going to be really fun, man. Make sure to check them out tomorrow at Ophelia's. And that was beautiful, man. You guys, really good stuff. Do you guys do any? I kind of assume that there won't be anything like that, but do you guys?
Yeah, we're doing that.
Yeah, but I mean, it'll be more though. There'll be more to it, or is it kind of like what we saw here?
Yeah, there's definitely other elements.
Good.
But yeah, I mean,
For an acoustic session in the studio, though, that's definitely one that we're like, oh, that'll be easy.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need a horn section.
Right,
All
right.
the extra percussion that happens with it. So
And we do very, very much appreciate you guys do performing live, and it's it's a real special treat for the audience, for me, and
Hey,
for
for us
anybody else who
too.
likes to
Yeah.
listen, man.
yeah.
Good stuff. Pink Hawks in the house, man. Make sure to check them out again tomorrow. They're going to be at Ophelia's at 8 o'clock. 21 and over show. They'll be there with Polyphony.
Polyphony. Like, I'm going to have
And
an
wheelchair
epiphany and go
sports.
see
Yeah.
Polyphony.
I know. Good stuff, man. Awesome. So tell me about what it's like on that stage. You say you like to, move around a bit, but there's 10 people that you have to contend with.
And what's interesting is I thought people are like, you guys are ridiculous. Like, why are there so many people? But I feel it deep in my soul if there's even one person missing at a show. Like, I feel like everyone brings something that's important and necessary, even in terms of energy and sound. Like, if we're missing a horn, I'm like, oh, my heart. Like it just, I think all the elements that are there are very necessary. So despite it being so many band members, I think if you want to have a full horn section and you want the sort of polyrhythms that you get with things like traditional Afrobeat, you have to have that many people. Like it just fits a little bit better to me. But what do you think, Yuzo?
You know, it's fun to orchestrate, and it's fun to have full sections. I feel like we're capable of anything with this. I'm a multi-instrumentalist, so I've studied vocal. I studied vocal in college. I studied saxophone, and I've studied percussion. And you know, obviously, I play guitar, and I've been doing that since high school. So
well, you do it all, man. Let's talk a little bit about how you got started. I mean, did you come right out of the womb with a hey, I'm going to play
jumped out this angsty punk like I gotta make music right now.
Exactly. Tell us about kind of what got you motivated to start even doing music or wanting to do music.
I feel like I basically came out of the womb wanting to do it.
Yeah.
I remember having a little keyboard that I still mess around with sometimes, a little Casio keyboard. And I was young. I was like 4 or 5 when I first got that. And I always remember too going to my grandma's house, and she always had a piano. And I just kind of like Pink Hawk started. Like I would just freeform what I thought was kind of classical music and just play. I got into piano lessons, probably around the age of 5 or 6.
Was your family musical oriented? Did they have lots of influence on that? You know what I'm saying?
Not really.
No. So this is
again, like my grandma would play. She would play sort of sloppily on the piano.
Right.
It was cool. My mom kind of played, but not really. Like no one took it seriously. My dad refuses to play any instruments.
Oh well, hey.
But I think punk
sounds
rock,
like there's issues there. Sounds like there's issues.
Have a shot, Tinder spot.
There you go.
Like my dad comes from there's a lot of musicians in his family, I'd say, but he wasn't one of them.
Did the movie Coco really get you?
Did Coco get?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Coco. Well, I was never like told not to play music or anything, but yeah, I cried about 7 times in Coco.
I cried a lot. I'm just saying.
Oh.
Video. Sorry.
But yeah, no, I think punk rock changed my life. I got into punk rock in middle school, probably punk rock and ska, and that was tight because I felt like I played my saxophone for a number of years in like Colorado Honor Band and stuff, and played sort of classical, like Western European music that never really connected to me, and then I finally found this music that A, was rebellious, and B, I could just play my saxophone all loud. And I was like, this is what I want to do, and I want to start a band. I actually met Mike Neff back then in middle school, and we started our first band together, and
that's fantastic.
Punk rockers. And
no, that's cool. And then you just never stopped, and then you just kind of progressed and grew and just started, taking influences from all kinds of other, musical styles.
I wouldn't have started singing without punk rock, because at some point we didn't have a singer, and I was like, all right, I guess it's me. And that's how I taught myself how to sing, And
you wouldn't have that really kick-ass hairstyle as well. By the way, we have Pink Hawks in the studio. It's Yuzo and Rachel. They are going to be at Ophelia's tomorrow. It's going to be with them and Wheelchair Sports Camp and Polyphony. I think I got it right that time.
Yeah,
no doubt about it, man. And Rachel, let's tell us about how you got started. Did you play music when you were a young girl?
I had such a fortunate existence in terms of my musical life. I started off singing in the church. I think all young Black women have to do. It's like required. If you're not singing for Jesus, you're like not allowed. Right. It's basically the rule. So choir in church and then choir in school. And I just got lucky. I think I was a nice person and I was fun to be around and I had good energy and I could dance. And I got lucky because when I was, I've actually lived here for about 2 years. So I've been in Pink Hawks for about that much time. Before that, I lived in Kansas City where I grew up. Whoop, whoop. Huge jazz scene.
Shouts out to Kansas City.
Whoop, whoop. Duck. Everybody knows what that means.
I'll even give them one of that.
Welcome to KC, duck, y'all. They know what that means. So What happened for me was really just that I had a lot of friends that did music, and I was kind of like digging back into what I did through high school and through some of the other projects I was involved in after school. And I got involved with a friend that was already doing an Afrobeat kind of Fela Kuti style type band in Kansas City. So it was called Hearts of Darkness. It was like a 14-piece band, lots of horns, lots of percussion.
Well,
so
you just love
right
those bands with lots of those horns and percussions. That's great.
Yeah, so I learned a lot from them, and we got to play a lot of cool shows and opened up for like in one summer we had an opening with Snoop Dogg and then Huey Lewis in the News.
There you go.
And I think it's because the sound, like what we're doing, it doesn't fit into any containers really. So like in terms of booking, you can kind of play anything if people listen to it enough. They're like, oh, you could do anything really. Like it's better to have that kind of flexibility. So
no doubt about it.
We party.
That's
hard.
what I'm talking about. And indeed, Pink Hawks in the studio again. They're going to be at Ophelia's tomorrow. It's Yuso and Rachel, and they are here just chopping it up with me, man, having a good time and promoting their show tomorrow. Make sure you come out. It's really going to be a great show. I'm excited about going. I love bands with horn sections and percussion, so this is going to be right in my wheelhouse. I'm really excited. And like you said, it's Ophelia, so hey, we want to get there early and have some food.
Eat a bunch of food. You can skip the gym because we're going to help you dance.
There you go. There you go. We're going to get our cardio on tomorrow.
Yeah, I like cardio.
All right, man. Well, let's go back to the music here. I have 4 of the 6 songs, I believe. And I'm going to let you go ahead and pick the 3 of the 4. I have I Need My, let's see. I Need My Boo.
I think on that album, maybe
Crystal Sky and Lobo.
Crystal Sky.
Okay, let's go with Crystal Sky.
Give you guys a taste of sort of more of
the more energetic tunes.
All right, it is Pink Hawks, Yuso, and Rachel 1/10. And this is a little bit of taste of what you're going to get tomorrow when you show up at Ophelia's. Give these guys some love. It's Pink Hawks right here on the Freeza Block.
Sky, got an eye for the fly, ooh. Cloud of days, I'm a flame blaze, blue face, I go. I'm a bright light of mud, lines of luck, I just might. Pro wing fly, claim a bird's eye, spot a high crystal sky. Sky, got an eye for the fly, ooh. Cloud of days, I'm a flame blaze, blue face, I go. I'm a bright light of mud, lines of luck, I just might. Pro wing fly, kill the birds, I smile a high crystal sky.
My body says, your body goes, your body says, his body goes, his body says, her body goes. My body goes, my body says, says, your body goes, your body says, his body goes, his body says, your body goes.
Got an eye for the fly, oh. Clatter days, I'm flame blaze, blue face, I go. I'm a bright light, light 'em up, light, lines of luck, I just might. Full wing fly, clean the bird's eye, sparkle high, crystal sky.
My body says, your body goes, your body says, his body goes, his body says, her body goes and goes. My body goes, my body says, your body goes, your body says, her body goes, her body says, your body goes. Eye for the fly, oh. Clatter days, I'm a flame blaze, blue face, I go. I'm a bright light, light 'em up, light lines of luck, I just might. Full wing fly, claim a bird's eye, sparkle high, crystal sky.
For the fly, oh. Hotter these days, I'm a flame blaze, blue face, I go. I'm a bright light, light 'em up, light lines of love, I just might. Pro wing fly, claim a bird's eye, spot a high crystal sky. Crystal sky, eye, now shadow die. Doubts, there was a drought in my clouds, leaving no space for right. No dreams to name in the strange crystallines. You shot bullets through magazines to reclaim yours. Beauty. I'm a prism in the prisms of the mind's design. A system trapped out, release confines. I am Einstein, the color lines destroy all lines of crystal. Holding tension, releasing I'm light. Blue hummingbird on short spot, blue black light glow. Crystal yellow, red sea, green aqua flow. From Ethiopia to a slime, to no street line. The DC, make eyes to around, my light shines strong. My light shines strong. Crystal sky, yeah, my light shines strong. My light shines strong. His light shines strong. Your light shines strong, our light shines strong. Come on.
Yes, indeed. Pink Hawks. We have Yuso and Rachel in the studio, 2/10 of the Pink Hawks. They will be playing at Ophelia's tomorrow. Make sure to check it out. It's going to be a fantastic show. Polyphony and Wheelchair Sports Camp will also be there. It's going to be a really cool show. Make sure to check it out. It'll be, like I said, horns and all kinds of good stuff. Yuso, wanted to talk to you real quick about the writing process. I mean, do you like kind of just come up with the words, or do you have like, and we know, how do the horns, like, do they do their own deal and arrange their own things? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How does everything come around?
So definitely earlier, I would usually start with a bass line and a horn line, and come with kind of those repeated sort of call and response phrases, or you can call them choruses if you want. And then probably the verse would come later, but it sort of depends on that song. Like Love Isn't Enough that we heard earlier, the verse came first, and then everything else kind of went around that. But nowadays we're definitely a lot more collaborative with our writing. Like I've always tried to give people artistic freedom, so I'll be like, this is kind of a skeleton of what I'm sort of imagining, but take it on your own. If you want to write your own harmony, write your own harmony. Or if you need me to write it, I'll write it for you. Recently, we've incorporated songs. One was written by our bass player, Rick Urrutia. And he basically just had a bass line. And then I constructed part of the horn line, and then someone else added another part to the horn line. And Molina, who's on that album, Molina Speaks, wrote the rap verse and the rap chorus, and then I wrote like a vocal, like a singing chorus, and so it just, nowadays it kind of evolves. We're starting to become more of a collective than just me. But ultimately, a lot of it too, like I'll direct things. I'll kind of cue the horn heads. I'll cue the vocal parts. I'll sort of cue which solos come when. But with our songwriting process, we've been trying to be a lot more collective. And in one of our last practices, we just literally were kind of just jamming out to some different various ideas that people had. I didn't actually have any of these ideas. whatsoever. And then, you know, we kind of started on a new song that way. So.
Yeah, it was beautiful. I think it's really interesting for me to like, cause I'm not a music major.
Right.
I work in technology, and I have this love and passion and understanding of music, but not on the level that these people with these highly educated people do. So it's very humbling for me. And what's interesting is you'll see a concept grow, and in just like a few minutes, you're like, so this, oh my God, now it's a song. Like it's beautiful to watch it come together. It's like, hey, I just had this idea. And then I think, you know, people start noodling around and just kind of play around with it, and you figure out how to add things on top, because we're all, I think, on the same page and going after the same goal, that you can give that kind of artistic reign and just be like, what did you want to do here? Have fun, you know?
Yeah.
Yes, that's amazing. It is Yuso and Rachel, 2/10 of the Pink Hawks. Check them out again tomorrow. Make sure to go to their Bandcamp page. Give them some love. You know, go to their Facebook page. Also give them a thumbing and a liking. Then come to the show tomorrow if you can. It's really going to be special at Ophelia's, a fantastic place. Get there early. Get you something to eat, and get you. You know, you could work it right on off by the time you get there, man, or by the time you leave, at least.
We're on Spotify too, and we got a few videos on YouTube, and we're on iTunes. So, you know, check us out anywhere you check things out.
It's the Pink. Is it the Pink Hawks, or
I think it's just Pink Hawks.
Pink Hawks. Okay, make sure to check it out. Pink Hawks on all the social media platforms. Yes, I indeed. Well, I would like to talk about how you guys got that name, but I'm not sure we have time. Can you give me a 1 minute?
Yeah. It's a moth. You know, when we were beginning it, we were avant-garde, so it was a moth that Nabokov was writing about, and just thought it was a cool name. So there you have it.
There you go. The shortened, real Reader's Digest condensed version of how the Pink Hawks became the Pink Hawks. All right, you guys have one more tune, and then we're going to ride it right on out. So again, Pink Hawks, Yuso and Rachel. Thank you guys so much again for coming in short notice. Tell us a little bit about the song you guys are going to play, and then we'll let you play it, and then we'll say our goodbyes when you guys are finished.
All right.
If you want to, if you guys don't want to.
No, we were just trying to decide, because we had 2 more songs planned, but
I know we just got into talking.
You know, I want to try it. We're gonna take a little risk here. I was gonna go with an easier one. That's the title track off our album. It's called "I Need My Boo." We produced a music video of it, but why don't you guys just check that out on YouTube? And we're gonna play something. This was actually inspired by a traditional West African song from Guinea, and it's called Cuckoo. It's traditionally, the song was made as a celebration for food. So in Guinea, women do the fishing, or in this region of Guinea. And when fish were brought back to the village, you do the cuckoo celebration for food. And so we kind of used a lot of the traditional Guinea parts for the bass line is what's called a dun-dun. It's a type of set of 3 drums. So the bass line's kind of based off that. The horn lines are based on some traditional djembe solo phrases that I've learned over the years. And then we've kind of extended it into a modern conception of food politics. So this is without sans drums, the acoustic version of Cuckoo. We've never
before performed.
We've never done this before.
Oh my God.
So, Cuckoo by the Pink Hawks.
It's a world of confusion, because we consuming bad dreams from the food that we tubing from all across this North American Union. Yeah, them belly full, and mine is too. But what you want to do, tell me what you gonna do when the big trucks stop coming, the gas stop pumping, the sheep start running. Reckless. getting free and killing shepherds. And now there's nothing in your fridge for breakfast. This life is hectic. Take a whole week of pay to the pharmacy for a fallacy so they can profit be filled chemically with ill energy like dependency. That ain't healthy, G. You want medicines? Plants be the best of friends. Meet me at the grow house. Got some things to learn from them. Eat right, meditate, grow your own food. Body, mind, spirit, land, water, sun, moon. Eat right, meditate, grow your own food. Body, mind, spirit, land, water, sun, moon. Eat right, meditate, grow your own food. Body, mind, spirit, land, water, sun, moon. Eat right, meditate, grow your own food. Body, mind, spirit, land, water, sun, moon. Eat right, meditate, grow your own food.
Ade kuembo jamanwe, kuembo jamanwe, ade kuembo jamanwe, kuembo jamanwe. Wuni bata, wuni bata, wuni bata, wuni bata. Alamamio. Wuni bata, wuni bata, wuni bata, wuni bata. Alamamio. Pipidi, pipidi, para ba. Bande, 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 bande fanenada. Inuali, fanuali. Bande, 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 bande fanenada. Inuali, fanuali. Inuali, fanuali. Eat right, meditate, grow your own food. Body, mind, spirit, land, water, sun, moon. Eat right, meditate, grow your own food. Body, mind, spirit, land, water, sun, moon. Eat right, meditate, grow your own food. Body, mind, spirit, land, water, sun, moon. Eat right, meditate, grow your own food. Body, mind, spirit, land, water, sun, moon. I know my culture be polluted with plenty, so why can't we even feed our own? I roam through these alleys, liberating what we don't need, cause food is a basic necessity. Kukungoma celebrates the peace of food for the entire village, you see. And no one gets left out of the community. Everyone gets a slice of the cheese. Want the nada, want the nada. Want the nada, want the nada. We are connected like a family. Want the nada, want the nada. Want the nada, want the nada. Take it from me, we got people to feed. Eat right, meditate, grow your own food. Body, mind, spirit, land, water, sun, moon. Eat right, meditate, grow your own food. Body, mind, spirit, land, water, sun, moon. Eat right, meditate, grow your own food. Body, mind, spirit, land, water, sun, moon. Eat right, meditate, grow your own food. Body, mind, spirit, land, water, sun, moon. Bande, 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 fanenada. Inuali, fanuali. Bande, 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 fanenada. Inuali, fanuali. Inuali, fanuali.
All right, yes, indeed, the Pink Hawks in the studio. Huso and Rachel doing it all by themselves. Make sure to check them out. They have 8 more folks helping them out with this tomorrow night at Ophelia's. Get there early, get some food, get some beer. It's going to be really, really fun. And again, thank you guys so much for coming on in short notice like this. I'm really happy to be able to promote this for you guys. And let's hope we pack the house out tomorrow, man. That's for sure, man. It's going to be a lot of positive energy going on in that building. And I'm excited for it. I certainly am excited for it, man.
Yo, I'm hyped.
No doubt about it.
It's gonna be lit.
We're gonna exit out with either I Need My Boo or Lobo y Halcyon. And
yeah, we already played Lobo live. So
we did. Okay, well then, all right. Then I Need My Boo. We'll say goodbye with that as we exit on out. Again, I'm gonna go ahead and start it on up. Indeed. Pink Hawks, thank you guys so much for coming on in. You guys are amazing. Again, check them out at Ophelia's. They'll be there tomorrow night. And make sure to check me out next week. Righteous Revolution will be in the studio. We'll be chopping it up and breaking it on down. Everybody have a fantastic weekend. Don't forget to just have a great weekend and love one another. MileHighUnderground.com, the Freeza Block Show. We'll see everybody next week. Bye-bye.
Do I remain here with you, or am I gone? Do I remain here with you, or am I gone?